There's something about the way the game of baseball is played that feels broken or hit or like the way the hitting is, right? Everyone swings for the fence. We have the 3 true outcomes. By the way, the 3 true outcomes thing has slowly declined to not really be as big of a thing as most people say it is. We still use the big stats as our kind of career highlights or season highlights, but the Joey Gallos and the Adam Dunns of the world, they don't exist. They don't really, you can't hit 190 and play every day. That's not happening, right? We don't do that anymore. So let's stop with everyone's 3 out coming, because we're not really doing that. It is still a little bit too far that way, but it's not really the focus. And that every hitting guy will tell you that is not what they're focused on anyway. And it's about how rosters are constructed and what guys can do now that needs to be changed, I think. Not necessarily as much the collective mindset. I think the mindsets are becoming more nuanced and more guys are starting to lean into more who they are. Okay? So these are 4 kind of things, I think, that do not work in the playoffs that work in the regular season, okay? 4 big things. Number 1, high strikeout power hitters, okay? The guys who are productive and they get the big hit and they use the gaps and can hit the ball over the fence, even if they're usually pretty good at generally producing and having a pretty good batting average. When it comes to crunch time in the playoffs, where juice in a ball, having that those 1 or 2 moments during a game are a lot of times the difference in that game, we see those guys disappear a lot. And I think the Yankees are really struggling with it. I think that's something that people have mentioned a lot, but we're not going to talk about the Yankees. We'll talk about them at the end of this segment. The guys I'm thinking about, and specifically this game included because we saw it all over the place, Gino Suarez and Riley Green were just missing 70% of the pitches they saw. They're just missing. Everyone's just missing it. We're not even making the defense do anything. It was just walks and misses. And it starts to turn into this, there has to become a time where you can battle and fight off pitches and become more of a shoot it somewhere player. Here's the difference between, let's use first baseman, for example, okay? Torkelson, I feel isn't necessarily a huge just pop only guy, but he is a big swing and miss guy as well. Between Josh Naylor and Spencer Torkelson, in terms of how they approach hitting, I'm going to take Josh Naylor over pretty much every other first baseman outside of Freddie Freeman in the playoffs, because of the nature of he doesn't strike out, he doesn't chase, and he can tighten his zone when he needs to. There are certain guys who they've forgotten how to tighten their zone because it's not worth it 95% of the games for them, because this is the role that they play on in a batting lineup, or in a lineup, in an order. But in the playoffs, you just see these guys disappear a lot, and not only are they not great at bats, nothing's happening. You're just out. And towards the end of that game, every time Riley came up and every time Gino came up, I was just this is probably going to be a strikeout or a pop-up. And it was every single time. I just didn't think that either one of them was going to try to shoot one, right? We had Josh Naylor do this and hit a double, right? He's willing to do that. Those 2 guys will never take that swing, ever. And we need that sometimes. You need the ability to do it. Even if you never employ it that much, you need the ability to do it. I'm noticing there's a lot of guys who don't know how to do that anymore. And that's what's missing. It is their approach, but it's because of what's been reinforced for what their value is and where their role is, because you are part of a team. So the power hitter, high strikeout guy does not work in the playoffs. Sometimes you hit gold. Most times you don't. Okay? Number 2 thing that doesn't work. High appearance relievers, guys who pitched a ton in the season and then pitch every game in the playoffs. For example, Gabe Spire, especially guys with 2 pitches, 4-seam and a slider. And he throws a sinker too, because everyone throws 2 fastballs. But when you're a fastball and then 1 breaking ball guy, you can get seen too much, and that just stops working very quickly. Even left on left, right on right. It doesn't matter. He gave up homers to two lefties back-to-back games, Gabe Speier did. And it's because of the types of pitches he has and the way he approaches guys. He's tried to go bully guys, and you can't do that anymore towards the end of the playoffs. So it's a weird kind of trade-off between those power swing and miss guys versus a guy who's throwing the same pitch every time. Who wins that? And that's what we're getting. We're getting this like watered down version of like, we know what this is, and let's just see if one of them, which one's going to run into, are we going to run into the bat, or are we just going to keep throwing the ball up and they're not going to hit it? Like, is that the two options? And that gets very monotonous and like honestly frustrating to watch. I see it. I chase that stuff as a pitcher. Had I played till I was older, like now, if I was still playing, I would definitely be more of like a sinker, like getting ground balls and trying to play that game a little bit more. It just wasn't something I did very well when I was younger, and you got to establish yourself. So you like do the thing that makes you good, and then you got to adjust. And I'm just not seeing adjustments in playoffs, and it's frustrating. Kyle Finnegan is a great example too. He pitched every single game. He throws a splitter and a four-seam fastball. Like two-pitch guys really struggle to pitch every game in playoffs. And you need guys to pitch every game in the playoffs. It's very bullpen heavy. And we're seeing guys get beat. We talked about Hunter Gaddis on another video about how he threw so much to the regular season and then threw so much in the playoffs. You just get, not that you get figured out, you're also tired. So you're just not executing as much either. So high use relievers getting used every game, you get diminishing returns very quickly. And that is what we're seeing biting a lot of teams in these playoffs. And it's becoming very obvious to me.
This is for everyone listening right now. What are you wearing right now? And why isn't it MeUndies? Kratz, it is time for everyone to upgrade and get that super soft micro modal glory. So good that you don't want to take it off.
The reason I'm stone facing you is because that's how soft they are. It's ridiculous. Like I don't even understand what kind of material it is. It's got to be something space age for your butt.
Signature super soft micro modal fabric. Breathable, stretchy, unbelievably cozy. And now you can even get glow in the dark, part of the Halloween line. Right now, as a listener of FT, you can get cozy and spooky for less with deals up to 50% off at MeUndies.com/foul. Enter promo code FOUL. That's MeUndies.com/foul. Promo code FOUL for up to 50% off MeUndies. Comfort that's made for fall.
Number 3. It's a big one. And this is going to be kind of our big theme. The hero approach. The hero approach. All right? Now, what do I mean by the hero approach? The idea that the game can change with one swing of the bat. That the way to get to a guy like Tarek Skubal, like Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Garrett Crochet, is to go out there and just swing really hard and catch one. Just catch one on the barrel and take them deep. That's the way you beat them. That's one way, but you're fighting fire with fire at that point because they are getting you to the bigger you swing against guys like Tarek Skubal, the more he's going to strike you out. And it's just the way that it is. I saw J.P. Crawford do it a couple times. J.P. Crawford's a great hitter. He is a great hitter. Usually he doesn't get big like that, and for some reason he was. There was an AB with Cal Raleigh against Cal against Tarek Skubal after Kerry Carpenter had taken the lead with a 2-run home run. Cal came up and had a terrible at bat. Terrible. He swung it 100 above his head, 100 up and away out of the zone, and then 100 right down the middle, got blown away. He came up and just swung it 2 pitches up way out of the zone right away because he was pressing, because he's like, I need to tie this right now. I don't like that we're behind, so I need to tie this right now. I need to be the hero. No, you don't. And I think this is the issue we have literally with Julio for the first 3-4 months of the season. He has this hero idea, this idea that like first and second, I'm being paid to hit this 3-run home run. You can hit a single, man. And pass the torch. It's got to be a pass the baton, not a everyone needs to be the hero. But the problem is when you get into a playoff game where you are tied going into your half inning every time, it is very, very enticing to try to swing for the fences. And then everyone did, both sides, everyone did. Tried to be the one that be the backbreaker, and it doesn't work. The hero complex doesn't work because playoff hitting is not exclusively about aggressiveness. And I think that a lot of people think that and feel that because you have energy, you have adrenaline, your bat speed's up. You somehow like, oh, I can catch up with 100. There's been 8 home runs hit on 100-mile-an-hour plus fastballs this year in the playoffs. There's only 21 in the regular season. Like, guys are getting to high heat because they have more energy because of so much adrenaline pumping. But that makes you more aggressive. The guys who can take a step back and put pressure on the other team, put pressure on them, that's the name of the game. It's about how much pressure am I putting on this game? How much pressure am I putting on their pitchers? Because I can't count on going and being 9 for 9. That's a nice byproduct, but it's something that probably won't happen because you're going to face the best pitchers on this team. They're not just going to let you do it unless you're blowing them out. So those games go away in the playoffs. So what you need to do is focus on how do I put pressure, not how do I produce the thing that I produce all season. And a prime example of that is Luke's against Bryce Miller. We had aggressive home run hit in a way because George Springer should be aggressive there. That's a pitch he hits hard, and he's hit 60 leadoff homers, so he should go for that. He got it. And then Luke's had a 12-pitch at bat that turned into a walk, where the last pitch was arguably a strike, but that's neither here nor there. That is pressure. And Bryce Miller, he did exactly what he needed to do to get Bryce Miller like, oh God. But to Bryce Miller's credit, he did not give in to that. So I love this idea of thinking about it as pressure and then passing the baton off to the next guy in the lineup, because that is how you are going to win consistently. That is how you're going to keep them from feeling comfortable, because everyone's uncomfortable. It's the playoffs. Nobody's comfortable. So just lean into that. Make it work for you. And that's one thing that I saw the Blue Jays do against the Yankees. They put pressure on them, and they kept pressure on them, and then they happened to score tons of runs too. Like, that was just a byproduct the way they did it. But they could have I think even if they hadn't hit as much as they did, they still would have ground out that win because they just had the ability to put that pressure on better than the Yankees did. The Yankees swing and miss like crazy. If someone's dialed in, Trey Savage, you're not going to touch him. You're going to get crushed. And they did. They did. Okay? Then the last thing, this is like kind of maybe this is 3A, but the last thing that doesn't work in the playoffs, defense second, team makeup. And the Yankees were that. Okay? It was, we need our lineup to be scary. We need a scary lineup around Aaron Judge. That's how they build their teams. That's how they've been building their teams for a while. They have their internal base system that really, really heavily weights production, which that makes you win 95 games every year. That works. It's a great way to win baseball games in the regular season. But can the switch be flipped where game to game you're able to make, do I care about that decision on a day-to-day basis based on who you're facing, what the environment is? If you're unable to do that, that's an issue. And then if it's double worse, double bad, if you are prioritizing all of that over the defense, just figuring the defense out, moving guys around, whatever. And the Yankees struggled with it a little bit. So defense is so important in the playoffs, making the plays that you need to make, or at least just being clean, not making errors, not making stupid mistakes, and being just locked in as much as you can be within the talent that's on your team. That is something the Yankees are an easy punching bag for that stuff because they've had some glaring stuff recently, and we know how Andrew Volpe how Volpe played this year. But like Anthony Volpe, I called him Andrew. Anthony Volpe played this year, so like it's not that you need to make defense first, but they need to be equal. In the playoffs, you need to have your great defensive team, or you need to be dialed in defensively, or you're just not going to go too far. And if you look at it, like the Mariners aren't like an incredible defensive team, but their outfield makes the plays they make. Their infield's pretty good, and their catching pretty good. Brewers are a great defensive team. The Blue Jays are a great defensive team, and the Dodgers, though they have their spotty moments, they're very athletic and they're very smart, and they have a lot. They make the right plays. We saw the wheel the other day. So defense is an element of all four of the teams left. That's to be noticed, to be taken in. So those are my 4 things you just simply can't have in the playoffs, but might work in the regular season. So remember, some things get you there, and some things push you to the end. Right? Some things get you to the playoffs, and then other types of things are usually ones that help you win in the playoffs.